And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO-VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO-VLOG network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today we're currently featuring over 1,950 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon, on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on the selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the other is aimed at 134 degrees. In addition, 2 of the 3 may be rotated separately. They're selected by a 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami, with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA-5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our QSO-VLOG net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim. Beautiful copy. I'm copying you direct. Copying you direct, although I'm only using my dipole, which is not broadside in your direction at all, because my quad at the moment is out of service. It's been pretty cold up here the last couple of days, and right now it's 23 degrees out, overcast. And we had about a half an inch of snow in the early morning hours. And in the last couple days altogether, we've had totally close to 4 inches, bringing us up to 31 and a half inches for the season. And that's way below the normal, And we have sleet and freezing rain tomorrow morning, with rain showers tomorrow afternoon, with maybe a pulse with nothing, and a high in the mid to upper 40s, and that's going to knock off the around 5, possibly 6 inches of snow on the ground. So we've had a lot of warming lately, and these storms are inside runners. They run west of us, and that puts us in the warm air. And it is not what is normal to get this happening so long. So we're way under normal with 31 and a half inches for the whole season. Okay, I don't have much on. I've been talking to Captain Mike, located back home in Virginia. And here's just a couple seconds of him in southwest Virginia, less than a mile from the northeast tip of Tennessee. Here he is.
Got pretty big, these white pines, but that must be really a lot of fun to be able to pick out a tree and go ahead and use that as your Christmas tree. But anyway, Charlie, I wanted to mention to you that picture that I sent you, that was actually in the rental car. You were just inches away from it, and we just forgot to pull it out and give it to you. That thing had been crisscross the country 4, 5, 6 times.
Okay, that was Captain Mike. Back to you, Jim. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. So that was from his home QTH. He's still on Christmas break. Is that a Roger?
Still on Christmas break. Is that a Roger?
Roger. I think he goes out on the 28th. Somewhere out on the 28th. He'll have a different co-pilot, and he's had Jay for quite a while, and I enjoyed very much meeting them both. Wonderful people, and when he was here talking, he sounded so natural. I could close my eyes and I could think he was still mentally over Scotts Bluff, western Nebraska, coming in 9 triple plus.
Roger, Charlie. So Captain Mike's going to have him a new co-pilot to break in, Roger?
A new co-pilot to break in, Roger?
Roger. The co-pilot lives in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Allentown, so he's only about an hour and a half or so from the airport on the south side of Philadelphia there, and he's had that new co-pilot has had a fair amount of experience in the past, so I hope that they enjoy each other's company. I'm sure they will, absolutely. So I just don't have that much today, but I don't like the idea of these storms passing west of us and putting us in the warm sector. I normally stack a load of snow up on the side of this QTH, but you can't do it when we get these periods of rain. Boy, I feel like I'm in Miami. Go ahead.
Yeah, roger that, roger that. Well, I'm picking you up on the Arlington SDR this afternoon. The other SDRs are not performing too well, but Arlington looks to be about 12 over. And Arlington does have good frequency response down to 100 cycles, where the other internet SDRs tend to roll out at about 250. So I'm looking at your audio on full range SDR receiver, and you have good content down to 100 cycles, Roger.
Content down to 100 cycles, Roger.
Okay, would you call that acceptable?
Oh yes, sir. It's well balanced, and that's the important thing. When you extend the low range, you also need to increase the intensity in the upper range to keep it balanced, Roger.
Range to keep it balanced, Roger.
Okay. Well, I'm always. I got a mistake here. Yeah. Okay, Jim, on that. I've got something wrong here. Wait a minute. Oh, boy, what a time this is. I don't know if I went forward or... No, I guess I went backwards. Okay, Jim, look, I won't hold it any longer. I'll try to catch you next week. I thought I had medical appointments I had to make. It looks like I may not until the middle of February. There's too much worry of this Kovac, and we have it loaded up here. This whole area is just loaded with the Kovac.
Pretty big, these white pines, but there must be... Well, I wanted to mention to you that fixture that SDR receiver, and you have good content down to 100 cycles, Roger. That's the important thing. When you extend the low range, you also need to increase the intensity in the upper range to keep it balanced, Roger.
Okay, I'm glad of that. Okay, Jim, look, I certainly messed up here. I hit the wrong button and everything went more or less out the window. So, by the way, the visibility is only about 8 miles. It's hazy, but it's not precipitating. But we do have a mess on the roads coming tomorrow morning. On the, I guess tomorrow's the 11th of December 2021. So I'll let you go, Jim. There may be many people waiting to call you there. But I'll be glad when I can get the 40-meter quad working. It may take quite a while. There's a lot to do with it. KC9VKV, K1GZL. Always a pleasure, Jim. Always.
Roger, Charlie, 73 of that way, sir. Now, you don't be doing any climbing. You get some help from some young men that are just breaking into amateur radio. I don't know where you're going to find them, but hopefully you can find them and you won't have to do the climbing yourself. Roger.
Have to do the climbing yourself. Roger.
No, yeah, that is Roger. I just ordered a new ladder and it arrived late this morning. A new ladder, and that will get me up to the balun on the 40-meter quad. That balun lost the driven element right at the balun, and that balun had so much tape on it, so much tape and glue, more or less the whole things together, that it was almost hopeless to continue with that balun. So Jim, who you've worked many times, WA3FET, found that he does have a new balun that he got about 25 years ago. So it's not new, but was never opened, and he wants to send it up to me. So I will, when I get that, I'll be working on that. So 73, Jim, and we'll catch you hopefully next week. There goes my voice. And KC9VKV, K1GZL. I can put out almost 1,500 watts with this dipole on this frequency, but when I'm on the quad, I only get about 900 because the tuning on that is very, very sharp. Very sharp, and I get above a certain frequency, the output drops off. But I've got close to legal limit with this dipole, which you're way off the side of, Jim. K1GZL, we are clear.
Roger, Charlie, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. My name is Jim, KC9VKV, better known in some circles as Dr. VKV, and we're recording now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's KC9VKV logbook, and this will take you to our main QSO-VLOG page, where this recording will be number 1 of 1950 QSO-VLOG recordings. So that's KC9VKV logbook, take you directly to our logbook page, where we have over 1,900 QSO-VLOG recordings. This one will be cut number 1, regardless of what YouTube says. Sometimes YouTube on large lists like we have, they don't manage to update their list quite as often as you might imagine. So anyway, that's the deal. And we're here now live till 5, recording all the while. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
It sounds like somebody tuning up. That's about par for the course. This is KC9VKV. I'm on Milford right now, moving from Arlington to Milford. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You want to check out, give me a shout.
There's about 3 stations. Loudest one, go ahead and take it.
Stations, loudest one, go ahead and take it.
There was a 0 in that last call sign. There was a 0 in the last call sign, so that's interesting. If you want to try that call again, I'll go to my local antenna and see how I'm doing there.
Antenna, see how I'm doing there.
United Sugar Alpha, Palm Beach County, Florida.
My old hometown, Palm Beach County, Florida, station in Palm Beach. Come back with your call signs slowly, phonetically, please.
Call signs slowly, phonetically, please.
Kilowatt Delta Zero, United Sugar Alpha. Kilowatt Delta Zero, United Sugar Alpha, Palm Beach County, Florida. The name is Barry, and I'm barefoot. The name is Barry, Kilo Delta Zero, United Sugar Alpha, over.
Roger, USA, and what radio are you running this afternoon, sir?
Radio are you running this afternoon, sir?
I'm running a 1976. The year 1976. Hurricane 3750. 1976. The radio is a Hurricane 3750. The only amateur radio that Hurricane ever had on display and sold, and then they went out of business. This radio is a 1976 vintage radio. Message Kilowatt Delta Zero, United Sugar Alpha, over.
Roger, United Sugar Alpha, and give me your name one more time.
Give me your name one more time.
Name is Barry, Bravo Alpha, Yankee. I don't know if I have to repeat myself a couple of times. I don't know how bad the conditions might be. But the name is Barry, Bravo Alpha, Romeo Yankee. You okay?
Is that Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, Roger?
Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, Roger.
Bravo Alpha, Romeo Yankee.
I'm missing the second letter. Is it an A or an E?
The second letter, is it an A or an E?
Alpha.
Copy is Barry. Roger, Barry. And gosh, you're making a good trip from Palm Beach County, Florida. Roger.
Palm Beach County, Florida. Roger.
Roger. I tried some of my other antennas just now, but I don't copy anything. I'm just copying you mainly on a Milford SDR, Milford, Pennsylvania SDR. Roger.
SDR, Milford, Pennsylvania SDR. Roger.
What's your QTH? You're hearing me out of an SDR in Pennsylvania, you say. Now, what's your QTH now?
Barry, my QTH is near Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky. We're in Indiana, just across from Louisville, Kentucky. Roger.
From Louisville, Kentucky. Roger.
Okay, very good. And let's see here. Like I said, I'm running a 75 watt. I'm going to check in the power here. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make with the computation, but I will add an amplifier to the signal. I'll add the amplifier to the signal. This is Kilowatt Delta Zero, Uniform Sierra Alpha, and now I got the amplifier on, and we'll see if that makes any kind of a difference. Over.
Oh, Barry, you should have started with that, my man. You should have started with that amp. Now, I must tell you that your audio is a little distorted. I think you're pushing maybe hot into your ALC. I think you may be hot into your ALC. Now, what we mainly do on this network is we do transmitter setups. So if you might be interested in the setup, we start with a transmitter that's maybe 30 dB dynamic range, 30 dB average peak modulation, and 10 dB dynamic range, and we close that down, fatten that up to the end product is your 3 dB wide as far as dynamic range, 3 dB dynamic range with an average percent of peak modulation around 80 to 85%. So if you might be interested in that, Barry, it starts with engaging your compressor at a 3 on your compressor. Now, your radio is older, so I'm not sure that you might have an onboard compressor or not. What's the deal there?
Compressor or not? What's the deal there?
The radio does have a compressor. I just backed off from the microphone at about 5.5 inches, and I do have the amplifier on. So anyway, we were listening for a few minutes, and we heard you say check out the radio. That's why I just got the on with the amplifier.
Roger, Barry, well, I've kind of lost you there, buddy. You were kind of marginal to begin with, and I think I've lost you totally. I only had a copy on you on the Milford PA SDR, and I think you have evaporated Mother Nature's goodwill. But I appreciate the shout, sir. You have a real good afternoon and a beautiful weekend. If you later on, we'll be on the air until 5, on the air till 5, and if we get a signal coming up to you better than where we are now, maybe you could give me another shout. I might have a better copy on you later on this afternoon. If not, you might want to hear your audio. If you want to do that, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, KC9VKV logbook, that will take you to this recording and give us, we'll probably have it uploaded after noon tomorrow. So it will not be available until afternoon tomorrow. Roger, Barry?
Available until afternoon tomorrow. Roger, Barry?
Because you said check out a radio. That's why I came on barefoot. You have a wonderful day. Be safe and stay healthy from Kilo and Delta Zero. United Cigarettes for Perry in Palm Beach County, Florida on the Hurricane at 3750 radio. See ya!
Roger, Barry. 376 radio, 1976. Good going there, buddy. That radio sounded pretty good. Kind of pushed a little bit, but under the circumstances, sometimes I guess you got to do that because, if your modulation had been any weaker, I wouldn't have been able to copy the mail. So there you go. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
There's a Kilo Delta station. Kilo Delta station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
You copy, over?
Well, I just copied somebody saying you got a copy, over. So whoever that was, come back and give me your call sign.
A copy, over. So whoever that was, come back and give me your call sign.
Yeah, Kilo Delta 2 Echo Juliet.
Roger, Kilo Delta 2 Echo Juliet. And what's the name?
Echo Juliet. And what's the name?
Name is Winston. Winston, over.
Roger. Okay, Winston. And what's your location, sir?
Okay, Winston. And what's your location, sir?
Located in Newark, New York. Newark, New York, which is about 30 miles from Rochester, New York, over.
Roger, so you're actually in Tuland, is that a Roger?
Roger, so you're actually in Tuland, is that a Roger?
Correct. Kilo Delta 2 Echo Japan.
Roger. And Winston, what radio are you running today, sir?
And Winston, what radio are you running today, sir?
Right now I'm on a Pro 2, the 756 Pro 2. And with the 30, I got the other amplifier, the Clipperton L amplifier. Go ahead.
Roger that. Well, if you might be interested in a setup procedure, it starts with engaging the compressor at just a token amount at a 3, something you'll never hear on the air, but it helps us achieve our 3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup, Roger.
3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, that's about where I have it placed right now. How do you find the audio? And then I like to switch microphones. It'll take a second. And see which one you prefer there. Go ahead.
Well, let's go on setup on this one right now. You want to maximize this one, and then we'll listen to that other one. So after we get our compressor engaged at a 3, and we need to go to our ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so you can get that ALC meter up to reflect what it's actually doing. With your mic gain control, adjust it to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
Right, that's exactly where it is right now. That's exactly where it is. Go ahead.
Roger that, roger that. And now, if you would, maybe give me about 10 seconds or so and tell me about your antenna system, and let me look at your overall audio.
About your antenna system, and let me look at your overall audio.
Okay, we're running, like I said, the Pro 2, 756 Pro 2. The antenna is a multi-band dipole up at about 40 feet. And running at direct right now. I also have an electronics mixer here. A tuner, whenever I need. But right now it's running direct with about a 1.5 SWR. Go ahead.
Alrighty, Winston, your audio curve seems to be mostly top end, has very little bottom end. If you would be interested in a fuller curve, I would go to what kind of EQ does that radio have?
What kind of EQ does that radio have?
I'm sorry, what kind of what?
What kind of equalization does that radio have? Is it a 3-band, a 8-band, or what?
Does that radio have? Is it a 3-band, a 8-band, or what?
I believe it's a 3-band, and I do have it running through a mixer here. So I do have the capability of adjusting the lows and highs there. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, it looks like you don't have much content past 300 cycles on the bottom side. It's all mainly gone by 300 cycles. So if you want to crank in a little bit more on the bottom end, I would, come up 2 clicks or so on the bass part of the EQ, and we'll see where that takes us.
Part of the EQ, and we'll see where that takes us.
Okay, I went up a bit on the bass response there. Let's see how you copy right now. Okay, go ahead.
All right, you did advance your baseline by a couple of clicks, Roger?
All right, you did advance your baseline by a couple of clicks, Roger?
Yeah, Roger.
All right, give me 2 more. And I'm thinking that you're EQing there somewhere around 100, 150 cycles. Is that correct?
Around 100, 150 cycles. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I need you a little bit more on the lower end. I'm going up a little bit there. Go ahead. KD2 EJ.
All right, need just a little bit more audio. Maybe, why don't you tell me what you like best about your radio? Give me about 15 seconds and tell me what you like best about your radio.
Give me about 15 seconds and tell me what you like best about your radio.
Oh, this is one of the 3 or 4 radios I've got here. And I do enjoy the rig. It's fairly easy to manipulate and not too difficult on the menus. I'm using right now a boom microphone, and I also have a headset here, a couple of headsets with mics connected there. And let's see how it sounds. I'm listening to myself, and it sounds good to mic here, but that doesn't mean that it sounds great at the other end. Okay, go ahead.
Roger, about how far are you off, are running? How far away from the mic are you speaking, sir?
We're running. How far away from the mic are you speaking, sir?
About 5 inches. Go ahead.
Roger, close that in, if you would, just for an experiment, to about 3 inches. I think I'm hearing some room echo or something. It doesn't have quite the presence that, come a little bit closer and let me hear you that way.
Come a little bit closer and let me hear you that way.
Yeah, okay, here we go. This is about 3 inches away from the mic. Let's see if that's any better. I do have a puffing filter in front of the mic here. So I'm about 3 inches away at this moment. Okay, go ahead.
Roger, you're about 3 dB over my noise level, 3 or 4, not much. So I could tell better, if we had a better signal. Let's see. I'm on the Georgia SDR. Usually I'm on Milford. Let's see. You're in New York. So maybe give me some more of your voice on the subject of your choice, Roger.
On the subject of your choice, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, with a 589, and much less copying you at all. Great, I don't have any difficulties copying you at all. So that's the situation. Been having some problems here with my 3001 amplifier. also the relay situation. Between my rig and the flipper to film. I'm running it through Aircheck 704, which is the little box that you use between the rig and the amplifier. But I'm still having a little bit of a problem with the relay there.
Roger, Winston, I'm not sure that you might check another look at your ALC. It just doesn't seem like it's maybe fat as it should be. Bring that ALC up, and as you speak to me, just bring it up so you can look at it. And we're looking to run that thing at mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC. So as you come back to me, just be looking at your ALC and see where we are there, Roger?
Just be looking at your ALC and see where we are there, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, the ALC is a little bit down now. Let me give you a little, right there. It's about 2/3, about 3/4 of the way up on the scale here. There, go ahead.
Yes, sir, Winston. Now, see, that made a big difference, bud. That made a tremendous difference in your signal. I felt like sometimes you were hitting peaks that were, much harder than what you would have if you had been at 2/3 to, mid-scale to 2/3 already. So I think you now have found mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
So I think you now have found mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, sounds. I'm listening to myself, and it sounds pretty good there. Very good. Appreciate the check. I'd like to just do a quick check on the other mic there, go.
All righty, go ahead. I wish we could do this really quick so we could the thing is, when you do an A/B test, you try to catch the same wind as the one to the other. That is, within a couple of seconds of one to the other, so you can actually catch the propagation exactly as best one can. When you have a great time spans between, plugging in one mic and the other mic, it's sometimes hard to evaluate the A/B situation, Roger.
Situation, Roger?
Yeah, Roger, right on the mixer, so I can swing right away. Here we go. I got the other mic up here, and this is the other mic, and I'll go back to the original mic that we had. Okay. This is the original mic, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the second microphone there. Go ahead. Okay, 2EJ.
Roger, Winston. The second mic is a lot thinner on the bottom side versus the other, but we did crank in some additional EQ on the first mic on the bottom side, so that could be the difference between them, Roger?
The first mic on the bottom side, so that could be the difference between them, Roger?
Yeah, Roger, I can hear the difference on the monitor here, and this gives me a little bit more kick for sure. This is a KOSS, a KOSS, and it's a boom mic, rather a headphone microphone. And that's what I'm running right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Are you interested in using your headset mic as a normal operating situation?
Your headset mic as a normal operating situation?
Yeah, this is what I normally use. It's just a bit more comfortable than the boom mic. So I normally use this one. It sounds a little bit thinner also. In other words, more highs than the boom microphone. There you go.
That's right. So you could crank in a little more on the bottom side if you wanted to. You could crank in maybe 3 clicks at 100 cycles or so.
Maybe 3 clicks at 100 cycles or so.
All right, here we go. This is a little bit more on the bottom end there. Let's see how that if that made a difference there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's much nicer sounding. Much broader than where you were, Roger.
Much nicer sounding. Much broader than where you were, Roger.
Oh, okay. Very good. Well, fine. That's excellent. I appreciate the check. And there may be other stations that are waiting to do the same thing. So I can see that it's sounding good on this end. Thanks very much. Is that Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor?
Exactly. KC9VKV, this is the QSO-VLOG net. We run every Friday afternoon from 3:30 till 5, recording all the way, and then we post it up on YouTube. So if you want to hear what your radio sounds like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, this will be the first recording of 1950 QSO-VLOG recordings. So you go to YouTube and do a KC9VKV logbook search, and we will be in cut number 1 on that list, and we'll have it posted by noon tomorrow. Roger?
List, and we'll have it posted by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Ah, very good. Excellent. Okay, what rig are you running there, Robert?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry?
What radio are you running?
This is an older radio. This is a Yaesu FT990, pretty highly modified, down to 100 cycles on the bottom side to transmit receive. Roger?
To 100 cycles on the bottom side to transmit receive. Roger?
Oh, excellent. Okay, I just got rid of a 950, which I had for a few years. I love that radio. Really did a nice job for me. And I just added a 7300 on mine here. But I have that on standby. I'm not using that at the moment. I'm using the Pro 2. Thank you so much for the check. I appreciate it. Have a good afternoon there. KC9VKV, Kilo Delta 2 Echo Japan.
Roger, Winston, and so you're currently running a 756 Pro 2, is that Roger?
Echo 1 Delta X-ray.
756 Pro 2, is that Roger?
QSO, that's correct.
Roger, Winston, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
This is KC9VKV from M3HIA.
There's an M3 in my life. M3, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign, please.
M3, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign, please.
KC9VKV, this is November 3, Hotel Italy Alpha. Name is Rick in Central Maryland. Go ahead.
Roger, Rick, and that's Nancy 3. Is that a Roger? NUR in 3 land. Is that a Roger?
3, is that a Roger? NUR in 3 land. Is that a Roger?
That is correct, November 3.
All right, so I've got this regional map of the United States broken into regions, and I've got some well-placed LEDs. So when I find out what region you're in, I'll light that map up, and it's kind of like a flashing light kind of thing. So it looks neat. You'll have to check it out if you get a chance. Go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, along with the word logbook, and that will take you directly to this recording, cut number 1 of 1950 QSO-VLOG recordings. Roger?
1950 QSO-VLOG recordings. Roger?
Roger, and I also wanted to comment that your audio sounds wonderful. I am playing with a new antenna and very interested in what the signal report is. And it's an N-fed with 203 feet and a 9-to-1 transformer, running a 7610 with an old SM10 microphone.
Roger, Rick. Well, you're sounding mighty good down in Georgia. I don't know exactly why that is, but I'm running 4 SDRs, and Georgia at the moment is the hottest. I don't copy you on my local antenna much, but Georgia looks really good. Roger, you're about 10 over down in Georgia.
Looks really good, Roger. You're about 10 over down in Georgia.
Wow, very surprising. Well, you're about 10 over here in Maryland, so I appreciate the check, and I will let you move on. I do hear others calling. 73, and have a great day, and 3HIA.
Roger, sir. 73 to you, sir. Sounding good, and we'll have this posted up on YouTube in the next day by noon tomorrow, Roger?
In the next day by noon tomorrow, Roger?
Roger, thank you very much.
Roger, Rick, and which radio are you running right at the moment?
X-ray.
Whiskey Bravo.
Roger, Rick, and which radio are you running right at the moment?
This is an ICOM 7610 with an SM10 microphone.
Being a 7610, you have a button there called Quick. Are you familiar with that?
You have a button there called Quick. Are you familiar with that? Yes, sir.
If you would, hit Quick and take us to Drive.
If you would, hit Quick and take us to Drive. Okay, I have Drive set at 50%.
Alrighty, move that up to 65%, and let me hear you.
Alrighty, move that up to 65%, and let me hear you. Okay, and this is at 65%.
Alrighty, and tell me 10 seconds or so about your antenna system, Roger.
And tell me 10 seconds or so about your antenna system, Roger. The antenna system is a 203-foot end-fed long wire fed with coax through a 9-to-1 balun at the top of the tower and out into the woods. Go ahead.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Nice sounding audio, Rick. And again, if you want to hear it, go to YouTube and do that call out a search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that'll take you to this recording number one, cut number one in our list of 1,950 QSO-VLOG recordings. Roger?
List of 1,950 QSO-VLOG recordings. Roger? Roger, and thank you very much.
Yes, sir. 73, sir, and have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Echo 1 Delta X-ray, KC9VKV.
There's a Kilo Echo 1 station. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
A Kilo Echo 1 station. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Roger. Kilo Echo 1 Delta X-ray.
1 Delta X-ray, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
1 Delta X-ray, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
Handle here is Angela. Alpha November Golf Echo Lima Ocean. Angela.
Angelo, Roger, Roger, and what radio are you running, sir?
Angelo, Roger, Roger, and what radio are you running, sir?
I am running a Kenwood 890, Tango Sugar 890. The microphone is a Sennheiser 421 Model 2.
Alrighty, and what's your location, sir?
Alrighty, and what's your location, sir?
I am located in Colchester, Connecticut, about 35 miles southeast of the RRL.
Okay, so you're in one land, is that a Roger?
Okay, so you're in one land, is that a Roger?
That is a Roger.
All right, I've got you blinking on my regional map there, sir. And if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, if you would like to give me about 10 or 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, I could listen to your audio, Roger.
15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, I could listen to your audio, Roger.
Hi, Roger, Roger. You're about 10 over here with me. Two center fed dipoles. The one I'm on right now is an 80 meter off center fed dipole, and it's pointing in the northeastern direction. I also have a 160 full size 160 Carolina Wyndham, and then of course I have a Yagi. So I've got three major antenna systems here. This is KE1DX. Back to you, Jim. K9VKV.
Roger, Roger, Angelo. Well, gosh, you got a nice bottom end there, but it was strange. It would be absent, and then it would come up to like almost zero level at 100 cycles. So it is there, but it is only there occasionally. So I'm wondering if you are changing your proximity to microphone or turning your head, or usually on low frequencies like that, being slightly off azimuth to the microphone is not usually affected much, you know, not like a syllabic range top end would. But I was really kind of interested in if you were moving around a little bit on that microphone.
Yeah, actually, I was, Jim. I was looking at the antenna box. So I was talking to you and turning my head left and right. So this is me not looking, talking to you here on the radio. Again, the rig is a TS-890.
The microphone is a Sennheiser 421, and I'm running an amp too. I'm running about 800 watts right now into that off-center fed KC9VKV from KU1DX.
Roger. Obviously, that mic has got a tremendous frequency response, and it's there. I'm just wondering how we can. About how far off mic are you working that mic?
I'm about an inch from it. I'm up against the windscreen.
Ah, so gosh, there'd be no reason for it to be, that bass line to be moving around like that. So I'm not. Are you actually maybe lowering your voice and not? Could it be that?
I don't think so. I'm pretty constant there. Now I do have the processor turned to soft. I've got the soft on processor. I can turn the processor on to hard. So I just switched the processor on to hard. It's on hard now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like the other way better. It sounds more inviting, less in your face kind of thing. So I like the other better. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I switched it back off.
Roger. Well, like I say, you have good frequency response. I would suggest maybe if you have the capability, just a couple of more clicks on the top end around 2.7 or thereabouts, 2.8.
The top end is already up to +6 on the EQ. So it goes +6, which is the max, from about 2.1 all the way across out to 5, but the radio's only open to 4. So it goes +6 from 2.1 all the way out to 5. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, and you're running 100 to 2900 bandpass, Roger?
I'm running 10 to 4,000 right now.
Start attracting pitchforks when you pass 32.
Yeah, so I could close it up a little bit, but I'm at 10 to 4,000 right now.
Yeah, I would run it at 100 to 2900. I think that one can achieve a spectacular sound within the 3 kC mark. I mean, it's just a matter of EQ, because if you push the top end, you've got the ALC that's going to start compressing those high-end frequencies, not attenuating them. Well, let's see, they are attenuating them, but they're attenuating them down only to a certain level, and they act like a high-frequency compressor, actually. So you can force the ALC with the top-end EQ to give you a more silky sound, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I just changed it. I'm at I believe 103,000.
Yeah. Do you have 100 and 2900? 100 to 2900? And let me just listen to you, see if there's a difference between 29 and 3.
Okay, this is 100 to 2900. 100 to 2900. Kilo Echo 1 Delta X-ray testing.
All right, sound like that was maybe chopping into your bottom side there. Go back to that when you EQ the bandpass that you had just before the last one.
Well, this is 100 to 3,000. 100 to 3,000. This is 100 to 3,500. 100 to 3,500.
Yeah, I would go back to the 100 to 3K. And if you could, again, let me hear 100 to 2,900, if you have that available.
Okay, this is Kilo Echo 1 Delta X-ray, 100 to 3,000. Mary had a little lamb, fleece as white as snow, 100 to 3,000. This is Kilo Echo 1 Delta X-ray, 100 to 2,900. 100 to 2,900. Mary had a little lamb, fleece as white as snow.
Roger, you know what I think is happening is that you're hitting that mic at a certain point where you have a hot spot in the bottom end. It's like, and maybe you could find that just by doing as you swing your head from one side to the other side. I think there's a hot spot there somewhere just that really combs up that bottom end. Maybe something that if you were maybe 3 inches away, you would not have that bottom end. Well, I don't know what to call it there, but it's like the bottom end is suddenly there, and then it isn't. So maybe if you were back a little bit further, like 3 inches, you wouldn't have that selectivity of the bottom end coming in and out. Roger?
Okay, this is about 2 inches away. 2 inches away. Any better?
It sounds like so. Of course, now you need to re-EQ that bottom end to crank in more of the bottom end response, because you're dealing with proximity effect, and as you move back away from mic, your bottom end is going to fall off. So you need to come up maybe 3 or 4 clicks on the bottom end if you're going to work 3 inches away. Roger?
Okay, well, I just did is I just moved it to 10 again. I didn't play with the EQ. I just changed the low end a bit, and about 2 inches away right now. 2 inches away.
Sounds thinner than what it did.
So leave the high cut to 2900.
Are you cutting on the mic?
2 inches away, and the high cut is set right now at 2900, and the low cut is set at 10.
Roger. Now, you're not doing any EQing in the mic itself. The mic does not have a low roll or anything like that. Roger?
Well, the mic has a couple of different settings. It's made for instruments, or it's made for vocals. I've got it set so that it's sort of in the mid-range. I'm not putting it on instruments or anything like that. It's been that way since I've gotten it.
So it has like a low roll, multi-position low roll?
Yeah, it's got a couple different settings, but I think one of the settings it actually was too much low end,
Roger, if you would and if you could, I'd just love to hear it flat, just to see what is there. Roger?
Yep. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah. About 10 over here with me. 10 over. The antenna right now, I'm running it.
Hello, Angelo.
Yeah. So this is one direction right here, and this is set up for I believe it's more vocals.
Roger. Okay, so do you know the one that's flat before any kind of roll? Can you give me flat on that mic?
I think I was on it originally. Stand by. Yeah, I believe I was on the flat.
Roger. Sounds thin now. Are you still on the flat?
Yeah, I'm on the flat.
All right, that sounded a little fuller. I'm listening to you, on a receiver that's good down to 100 cycles. I'm looking at a spectrum analyzer, and, you have great possibilities that come and go. I'm just trying to get a handle on why your low end is not consistent, Roger.
Yeah, well, I can try to EQ it up a more if you want. That shouldn't be a problem.
I'll tell you what, put that switch that you're doing on the mic, put it in the opposite direction from where you are. Let's just check something here.
At zero, I'm at -10. At 300 hertz, I'm at -6. And at 600 hertz, I'm at +1. And at 900 hertz, I'm at +1.
Roger, Angelo. Let's just check something on the mic itself. I'm very curious that we run that switch from one side to the other a couple of times. So we're in one position, one extreme position, say left. All right, I want you to move it to the other position, hard to the other position, Max, and let me hear the difference between the two places.
Okay, so this is the other position of the mic. It's all the way to the other side, KE1DX.
Okay, then that's a beautiful bottom end right there. Now, is that supposed to be the flat side?
Yes, it is. That's the musical side. I guess this microphone can be used on, on tom-toms and bass drums and stuff like that.
Man, it just sounds beautiful. And it sounds linear in that the frequency response sounds flat, and it doesn't sound like there is a notch in there between your main audio and then the bass. It just sounds very linear, just like that mic should.
So the big question is how will it sound on DX? Like, I have the processor set to soft right now, but if I put the processor onto, hard, do you think that's the right setting for DX? This is on right now, hard processor.
Well, for DX, then you might seek the other position, But here's the other thing. I have a recording that shows what happens. It's a marginal situation. I'm copying the mail on a guy that's marginal, and he does the low roll thing on his mic, and he's thinking that really is pushing him out, top end, forceful. Well, what happens when you just activate the EQ low roll switch on the microphone just thins, and his audio level dropped about half. When he went to that, what he thought was the contest microphone setting on that mic. He just rolled the bottom end out. Well, obviously, the audio setting is still the same, so the signal just drops down. It doesn't get louder. So you have to deliberately go for a contest setting as opposed to just rolling EQ on the mic. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, and I don't have a problem just moving the ring on the mic itself to that other position. But this sounds good to you. Then I guess this is probably the setting that sounds the best to you on your end.
Sounds pretty good, but I would like it to be more consistent. In other words, you have content at 50 cycles or 60 cycles, 70 cycles, somewhere in there. That content is still there even when other frequencies are mixed with it. This sounds more like the bottom end disappears when other frequencies are involved. So almost like some kind of a compression thing where you have this good flat linear sound, and then when your say 600 cycles comes in, and it's hotter than say 100 cycles, it forces the 100 cycles way down, and that sounds like what's happening, Roger.
Well, it could also be the ALCs. The ALCs is kind of right now. The ALC is at its maximum, and I'm wondering if that's just causing part of it.
You're hot, Angelo. You're hot.
You should be down mid-scale to 2/3. That's what we recommend. That will give you a 3 dB dynamic range, mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, so I just gotta turn that down a bit. That's all. And I could do that here, I guess. So this is about 45 on the processor. Any better?
Yeah, it's just mysterious on the bottom end. It just comes and goes, and then sometimes there's a lot of it, and sometimes there's not as much. And I just don't understand exactly why it's that frequency is disappearing from time to time. Anyway, like I say, I'm listening to you full range, and I would, because that seems to be moving around, I guess I would back off maybe a click or so on that bottom end, just to be sure that it doesn't overwhelm your balance when it does come in, Roger.
Okay, so there's a little bit too much bottom end there, right?
Yeah, Roger.
All right, give me 1 second.
He sounds pretty good up here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he's sounding really good down here. I'm listening to him down to 100 cycles, and I don't want to get him too fat down in the bottom side, but I do want him, that's a beautiful microphone, and I do want him to take advantage of its capabilities, particularly the linearity between the mids there and all that stuff. But I also want it balanced from the bottom to the mids, and from the top to the mids.
Right, I understand. Whiskey Uniform 3 Delta. I'll go back on the side here and listen.
I appreciate it. Another station calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jim, are you copying me up in Toronto?
I am a little bit there. I'm monitoring you on my local antenna. You're probably pretty hot on Milford, Roger.
Yeah, just a comment. It's Vito, VA3VMD up in Toronto. I just wanted to comment because Angela was talking about was it good enough for DX? I think you hit it on the nose. If he's going to be DXing, he's either got to narrow up the band, his transmit bandwidth, or he's got to EQ it a bit differently because he's got great sounding audio. But as you know and as I know, audio is tailored to depending on what it is you need to do. So I think he's starting to sound really, really good where he's at. But he mentioned about DX, and I think the audio he's got is more of the broadcast quality audio now. He sounded very good, but if he's really going to look at breaking up the file up, he might have to just tune it up on the EQ a little bit to make him a little sharper. But he's sounding a lot better, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger. Yeah, but when you go into that contest mode, you have to do more than just roll the bottom end off that mic. You're going to have to hit the gain and bring that gain up. So you're going to have to deliberately roll it off on the mic and then hit plus 10 or so on the mic gain to really take advantage of the new EQ. Otherwise, if you don't do anything with the gain and you just roll off the bottom end, you've just thinned out that microphone and your level has dropped down. So if you thin out the microphone to go to contest, you need to pop up about 10 dB additional mic gain, Roger.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll give Angelo a chance to get back here. I talked to Angelo, I think, last week sometime, so I'm not sure if he's hearing me or not, Jim. But anyway, okay, I'll listen here. I just wanted to pop in and make a comment. Nice to hear you, and I'll stand by here and listen.
Roger, 73, sir. And Angelo, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing, Vito? Good to hear you again. You're 20 over with me, Vito, so no worries. I can hear you. Yeah, what I typically do, though, is if I'm going to go into DX mode, is I do limit the bandwidth, and I'll set it up for about 2700, 2800, maybe even a little less, depending on the situation. And then I hit that processor effect to give me a harder processor, which does, in essence, bring up the average power. So right now, I don't have that setting. I don't have it set up that way. I have the processor on soft, and I'm really just looking at RAG2 audio. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. It looks like you're rolling out at about 300 cycles at the moment in that last EQ pattern, Roger.
Yeah, I moved it another click away from the bottom end, like you asked.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, top end is very nice, and so you've got the intelligibility wherever you go, Roger.
Roger. But you're still hearing that sporadic low end missing.
Comes and goes on my ears, but and I can't imagine what it could possibly be. But I mean, it's not earth-shattering, and probably nobody else might even notice it, Roger.
Yeah, Vito, are you hearing that at all on your end?
Go ahead, repeat again. Was that for me, Ange?
Yeah, were you hearing what Jim is hearing? Like the bottom end falling out every once in a while?
Honestly, I'm not hearing it here at all.
Okay. But
And
do you like
this
setting on the mic, guys, or should I go back to the more bottom end?
You guys double just a little bit. I would say, you know, where you are is just fine. I mean, you know, the bottom end doesn't come up to overwhelm. So, you know, to run it like that, Roger.
Okay, what about you, Vito?
Yeah, I'm okay with it, Ange. I was going to say when you're finished with Jim, if you want to join us down on 160, if you're able to go down there, I'll be there.
I'll be down there, 716.
7160. Thanks, Jim, for letting me jump in and comment. Nice job.
Roger, sir. Anytime. 73 up there. Stay warm.
Okay, Jim. Thank you. I'll go to the YouTube site there and come to say hello. Thank you for your help. Good to talk to you, and I got you in the log. We'll work you again next week if you're around. KC9VKV, KU1DX.
Roger. And you know what you might do is pull out your ALC for something to do when you're talking, and just be looking at your ALC and try to keep up that mid-range to 2/3 as best you can, command from your voice, and pretty soon you know, you'll just be able to nail that mid-scale to 2/3 all the time just by your voice. Roger.
Yeah, thank you. Will do. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Have a good holiday.
Roger, 73. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey, November 4,
Romeo, Sierra station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Sierra station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Whiskey, November 4, Romeo, Sierra.
Roger, RSS, and what's the name there, please?
Roger, RSS, and what's the name there, please?
The name here is Randy. We're in North Carolina, carrying North Carolina. Running an ICOM 7300. And I was listening in on your last conversation. The guy, when the guy left, he sounded pretty good. Sounded real good over here at my station.
Roger, very nice microphone there. Just beautiful. And we were just a little anomaly down on the lower side that I was trying to figure out why. To my ears, it was nice and well-rounded almost all the time, but then occasionally the bottom end would just disappear, like to my ears, like, you know, and not something that normal Mother Nature anomalies would do. All right, so Randy, if you might be interested in our setup procedure, if you maybe give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger.
Maybe give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger.
Yeah, basically it's here in the backyard. We're in a restricted area, and I've got it on a tripod. It's about 34 feet long, and we're just running 100 watts out of that setup.
Roger. Okay, sounds good. What we would do normally in the setup, we would start with the compressor processor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, not anything that you would actually ever hear on the air, but it helps us arrive at a 3 dB dynamic range at our end process. So if you would be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with the compressor engaged at a 3. Roger?
At a 3, Roger.
All right, guys, this is Kilo 1 Charlie Romeo Golf. I was coming to break in. I was just trying to get the radio working and see if it was working.
Roger, sir. If you could stand by, this is a controlled net, and I'm working with Randy right at the moment, but if you would just hang in there for maybe about 5 minutes. Roger, roger.
About 5 minutes. Roger, roger.
All right, Roger, thank you. I didn't mean it. If I'm getting out to you, that's all I need, man. Thank you very much for talking. Thank you.
Hey, I'm having some reception issues right now. The noise level here just spiked, and I'm not hearing you like I was hearing you before. I'm going to pause here, and maybe that'll clear up, and I'll try to get back to you. Whiskey November 4, Romeo Sierra Sierra.
Roger, Randy. I don't know exactly what might be happening, sir. You might have some local noise there. We're still as normal, so let me know if you still have noise on your end.
You still have noise on your end?
I guess that answers it. Randy is not copying me very well. Is that a Roger, Randy? You cannot copy me?
Roger, Randy, you cannot copy me?
Okay, 73, Randy, and maybe your noise will get less as time passes, and you'll be able to check back. Now, the gentleman that was wondering if his radio was working, come back and give me your call sign.
Come back and give me your call sign.
The gentleman that had the radio, that he was wondering if it worked, was working. If you're still there, give me a shout.
If you're still there, give me a shout.
Negative contact. Wow, the whole world has fallen off there. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. My name is Jim, Juliet India Mike. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You want to check out, give me a shout.
Papa Oscar Station, I just ran across you down in Georgia. If you would come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
You would come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Is that the Victoria Papa Oscar? Is that a Roger?
Is that the Victoria Papa Oscar? Is that a Roger?
Kilo Delta 2, Victoria Papa Oscar, yep, QSO.
Already, and what's the name there?
Already, and what's the name there?
Name here is Lion, Romeo, Yankee, Alpha, November, and I'm up here in New York State, Central New York State.
All right, Ryan, I copy you in New York City, or New York. Why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds, tell me about your antenna system, and I'll see if I can find a better path for us. Roger, I'm copying you down in Georgia right now.
Let's see if I can find a better path for us. Roger, I'm copying you down in Georgia right now.
All right, Ryan, gosh, I did not copy you anywhere but Georgia. And not on my local antenna. We have running 3 10-foot vertical magnetic loops, and not on Rochester, or Milford, or Arlington. So I'm copying you on Georgia just a little bit. Let me see if we can get some communications going here. What radio are you running, sir?
Can get some communications going here. What radio are you running, sir?
I'm running a 450, that's a 4.5. Yep, this radio up. To give it a try and see what you thought. Over.
Okay, Ryan, I just barely do have a copy on you, so what I want you to do is go to your ALC real quick and make sure that you're running mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC by way of mic gain control. Use your mic gain control to move your ALC to mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, and you speak rapidly to get that ALC meter up to where you can see what it's doing. Roger?
To get that ALC meter up to where you can see what it's doing. Roger?
Okay, now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and I'm having trouble with this radio because I cannot get the ALC to even move. Over.
You have an inoperative ALC, is that a Roger?
You have an inoperative ALC, is that a Roger?
Well, I'm not sure. It's a new radio. To me, it's a new radio. And I'm showing nothing on the ALC gauge. Nothing on the ALC gauge over. I also have another new radio sitting here next to me that we could try to see if we have a better copy on the over.
Okay, right now I'm copying you. I'm at just about 2 dB above the Georgia SDR level, about 2 dB above the noise on the Georgia SDR. So let me camp out here. You go ahead and change radios and give me a shout back, Roger.
Go ahead and change radios and give me a shout back, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Okay, this is Ryan, Kilo Delta 2, Victor, Papa Oscar, and I am now on the ICOM 7300. I repeat, I am now on the ICOM 7300, which is producing good ALC readings. Over.
Yes, sir. Now you're 6 to 7 dB over the noise level of the Georgia SDR, so much better. You're almost triple the volume of your other radio. This 7300 really sounds nice.
Your other radio, this 7300 really sounds nice.
Yeah, so obviously I've got some kind of problem here with this radio. And I will mention that the 7300 is not on it's on a compromised antenna. It is not on a 40 meter specific antenna. So this antenna shouldn't even be as good theoretically. So I've got some sort of problem here on the E24.
Mic gain is all the way up.
Supposedly the mic gain is all up. So I can't figure out what's going on with it. I do have another microphone board I can try over.
That 7300 is doing a nice job, so it's okay. It's the other one that's got the problem. So why don't you have you looked at the output of that radio? That not the 7300, but the other radio. Have you looked at the output just to see where it is?
The other radio. Have you looked at the output just to see where it is?
I don't have the appropriate meter. You're saying check it external to the radio. You're saying check it with a meter over?
Roger, with a SWR bridge or, power meter, whatever.
Power meter or whatever.
Yeah, so being a new ham here, I've only been a ham here for a few months. Running kind of basic equipment here. So I don't have anything to check the power at this time. Over.
Roger. Okay, that 7300 is doing a great job. Now, you want to try another mic on the original radio, Roger? And what was the original radio?
On the original radio, Roger? And what was the original radio?
The original radio is a Yaesu. It is a Yaesu 450D Delta. 450 Delta. I repeat, 450 Delta. Made by Yaesu. I do have the upgraded microphone attached to the Yaesu, and I'll be trying it now. Stand by.
Alrighty, I'll be listening.
Kilo Delta 2, Victor, on the Yaesu 450 on the Yaesu 450 with the upgraded Heil microphone.
Still not showing any movement on the ALCD. Over.
Roger. ALC meter must be defective because you are modulating. Your audio is fairly muddy. Needs a lot more top end. If you have access to the EQ on that radio, take, if it's a 3-band, just about 3 or 4 clicks top end boost. Roger, Roger.
About 3 or 4 clicks top end boost. Roger, Roger.
Okay, I copy. I need top end boost. Copy. I need some treble. Over.
Roger. Even more if you have it. Take that top end all the way up. Full bore on the top end, and let me hear you.
All the way up. Full bore on the top end, and let me hear you.
Yeah, I'm just trying now to sort out the menu. So, might have to stand by for just a moment, or you might have to get back to me. KD2, VDO.
Roger, Roger. Was that the 450D?
Roger, Roger. Was that the 450D?
This is the 450D. Over. As we speak, I am making some adjustments to the microphone. Right there, I believe I got the...
Okay, on the 450D then, are you getting any excursions on your ALC meter?
Are you getting any excursions on your ALC meter?
I'm not seeing anything on the ALC meter. I repeat, I see nothing on the ALC meter. I just switched the meter over to the power meter, and it looks like I'm putting out at least 50 watts on the tweets. Over.
Roger, yeah, you're doing fairly well, a lot better than what you were. I would keep running it like that, and I don't know what to tell you about your ALC. Maybe it has to take a trip back to the shop, or something.
Maybe it has to take a trip back to the shop, or something.
Okay, well, as long as I'm getting out and sounding a bit better with this upgraded mic, that makes me feel a little bit better, because I just got the radio, and I tried to call CQ a few times, and I had trouble with that, but I guess that would make sense if I'm not getting out there. Over.
Yeah, you're sounding pretty good now. Kind of a lot in the upper mids, you know what I mean? Not a lot of bottom end, but as that radio comes along and you're trying to communicate, I would run it like that. At least they'll be able to understand what you're saying, Roger.
Like that, at least they'll be able to understand what you're saying, Roger.
Yeah, are you saying that I need more bottom end or too much bottom end? Over.
You could use a little more bottom end, but I don't want to muddy you out. And by the fact that that ALC meter is not working properly, I wouldn't want to crank in a bunch of bottom end because you want to. That usually you rely on the ALC meter to tell you what your audio content is. Whether you're in good shape or you need to boost that mic gain. The ALC tells you all that stuff, and by the fact that it's not operating, I would not go out and try to get a bunch of bottom end in there without being able to see what it's doing on the ALC meter, Roger?
In there without being able to see what it's doing on the ALC meter, Roger?
Okay, Roger. Has my signal report improved? Over.
It looks like I'm still on the Georgia SDR, and you're about 6 dB over the Georgia SDR noise level. Just not quite as good as the 7300, but in that ballpark, Roger.
The 7300, but in that ballpark, Roger.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better.
Roger. And this is Ryan in New York, Roger.
Roger. Ryan in New York, Roger.
Yep, Ryan here in New York.
Yeah, Roger, that's what I thought. Well, sir, I would I would run the 7300 and just maybe seek some help on trying to fix that ALC meter on the other radio. Roger.
Fix that ALC meter on the other radio. Roger.
Okay, Roger. I appreciate your help today.
Yes, sir, Ryan. Let me say 73 up that way, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, we have been recording this, so if you want to hear what it sounds like, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, just do it this way, the KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. It's KC9VKV followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and this recording will be cut number 1. Roger.
This recording will be cut number 1. Roger.
Okay, I copy KC9VKV logbook on YouTube, and I will definitely be checking out the recording. Again, Ryan in New York, this is Kilo Delta 2 Victor Papa Oscar. I'll be clearing with you, and have a good weekend. Thanks for your help. 73.
Roger, Ryan, and we will have this located by noon tomorrow. We'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Tomorrow. We'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Yep, I'll be looking for it tomorrow. 73, this is KC2, the DPO, clear.
Roger, okay, we got to get out of here since 3:30. We've been recording live, and so if anybody participated, wants to hear what they sound like, if they go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. Give us till tomorrow noon to get it uploaded. Take us tomorrow noon. It will be uploaded. It'll be cut number 1 on that KC9VKV logbook search on YouTube. And with that, it'll wrap it up for this afternoon. We've enjoyed it. Hope you have. And if so, we'll see you next Friday afternoon. So right now, this is KC9VKV returning the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV clear.